How's your week going? Are you working this week?
Yeah, for the first few days, but then I'm off Christmas Day and then Thursday, Friday. So it's a
Uh-huh.
short week.
Okay.
And just
Okay.
staying put, not traveling. So I'm kind of excited about that because like it'll be, I feel like kind of nice to have days off where I'm actually at home as opposed to like being outside of the house. So just kind
I
of
know.
lounge, relax.
I know. I know. That's actually really okay. I'm also like really hot. I need to turn on the air conditioning in here. Um, I've gotten really into the habit of taking baths, like actual like even if it's only for 10 minutes or what it is, it just feels like very relaxing if I have the time. But I not forget. I fail to account for the fact that your body temperature just rises, and so for half an hour afterwards, um, I'm just really, really hot.
Do you shower after the bath or you just do a bath?
I do a bath and then there's like a little like handheld shower attached to it. So yeah, I shower after that and then yeah, that's the
That's the
that's the whole
routine.
thing. That's the routine. Um so we've been talking about doing this for a while and we were talking about how
On the podcast, rest in peace.
I know, which I would love to bring back at some point and I'm actually like I like that we're experimenting like this because I feel like this could be a really easy, low production way to do something like that podcast where it's all I really want to do is just have conversations with my friends and like, yeah, I feel like, I mean, you and I can talk about anything for like hours. So
Yeah, we don't need microphones. We can just do it on our phone.
exactly. Make it as low stress as possible. But yeah, so we were talking about a lot of different things about like how we used to go out and just going out culture in general. And then I was in Las Vegas last week for work and I'm writing about some of the new restaurants there like Gymkhana and Coat Korean barbecue where like the meal is as much of a draw as anything else in Vegas and before going there I was kind of like I associate Vegas with a crazy weekend like bachelorette
Out till 7
party
a.m., like until the sun
out
rises.
exactly like you're going to go to excess you're going to go to what was the one at the Cosmopolitan Marquee you're going to like wear really uncomfortable shoes and tight dresses and like have an amazing time but also have a kind of awful time because someone will get like stepped on or like kicked out of the club or and I was just thinking like in my mind I was like oh who's going to go to Vegas and just like have a great meal and then I realized that people do that very much and I've got this very to me going out means that and I think it's like it's some kind of I don't know if it's a problem or a bias or it's just a function of how we grew up where I think that a big night out means like bottle service at a club or like 11 drinks at a dive bar or something like that. Like that's like my definition of like, oh yeah, when people like go out, that's what they're doing.
I mean, I think that was true like for us 15 to 20 years ago. But part of it is like, yeah, like we're not, it's not to say we're too old, but like after a while you age out of that. And like, I think there's still something like when you think of Vegas and you think of like the appeal. Part of it is like, oh, it's fun to like get dressed up. It's fun to be in these like glitzy, ritzy places. It's fun to like have really good cocktails, listen to good music, be in a place with like a good vibe. And it turns out like that like going to like a nice restaurant that has that ambiance, but that doesn't involve you like going home at 5 a.m. and doesn't involve you being like ridiculously hungover the next day and doesn't involve you like losing your friends and spending half the night trying to figure out who went to the bathroom and where they are and like walking with them to like the bar and back. Like that's actually like the worst aspects of going out culture.
Well,
And like in some ways, like going out to a vibey restaurant is actually like all the best aspects, like condensed into, yeah, into a night.
I think that's true. I think that's true. I mean, yes, it is definitely a function of age. It's where we are in life and what we like to do. I mean, the thought of going to a place like paying, getting dressed up, and drinking like vodka sodas all night. Really, like I can't think of something I'd like to do less. It just
Yeah,
isn't like, yeah, that's just not appealing. And I guess I just wonder, I don't know if anyone is doing that anymore. I mean, I know people are going out and getting together and having fun, but I think it just, I don't know, with the rise of like cannabis and mushrooms and like all these like people not drinking and just like doing other stuff instead. I don't know if that's a really California thing, but it feels like that type of mega nightclub culture is just not there anymore.
totally. I mean, I don't know the research on it, but I know I've read that like Gen Z is drinking less than we did and then millennials did, which makes sense. But then also just even people we know in general are drinking less. Part of it is age, part of it is just like awareness and health, and like people are more conscious of like the negative effects of alcohol. So that just leads generally to this like, what the hell is the point of spending $500 on like a bottle of vodka that like none of us really even want more than like one or two drinks from. And then yeah, like I think there's also it, it's like kind of like what you derive joy from. I don't know. The last time I really went to Vegas and like went out in Vegas was probably a year and a half ago. And it was just with one friend, and we got in, like our flight landed at 9 p.m. And that first night we did go out. We went to Excess. I think, shoot, I forgot their names. Who was the duo, the DJ duo that
Chain smokers?
Chainsmokers. Yeah, the Chainsmokers. Yep. And they had a great set and it was super fun. The music was great. The dancing was great. Too old for this hassle of trying to like convince whoever to let us in without paying cover. It was just like, okay, I'd rather just pay $30 and like not have to like
Yeah.
have these conversations. Um, but then after, yeah, like, but then after, like, but once we got in, it was fun. The music was great. But then we like went home that night, stayed out a little late, but then the next night we were like, cool, we went out once, check, done. Let's just order room service and like have a really chill night in, I think we were staying at the Wynn at the hotel, and like also an equally satisfying night. Cause it's just like, you're not trying to do that multiple nights in a row. It gets really expensive, but more than anything, it just gets really tiring and boring. So, also the joy of like talking to other people. Like you don't want to talk. Who wants to talk to anybody else, right? And then you can't actually like talk to your friends in these places because it's so loud. So unless the set is really good and the music is great, like there's really like, what is the point of going there? Because I can't talk to my friends. I don't want to talk to strangers. I don't want to spend all this money on alcohol that I don't want to be drinking. It's just
I
like
mean,
really the music is the appeal.
yes, the music is definitely the appeal. I love to be in a place with loud music that I enjoy, and it doesn't have to be a specific DJ or art, like whatever it is. If the music is good and the vibes are good and the crowd is not like, you don't feel like you're in danger or like someone's about to start a fight, that is cool. And I do love dancing, but other than that, yeah, I mean, I think the appeal for me of going out, a lot of it is people watching and like just like sort of observing what people are like in that like in that 10 p.m. to like 2 a.m. kind of space. There was something, I don't know if we've talked about it before, but like back when I was in New York, I really, and I still kind of want to do this. I don't know. I don't know how I don't think I ever will, but basically I wanted to do some kind of like photo series or interview series from like nightclub and bar bathrooms, and just like, because the face, especially women, I mean, I can only speak from my experience and experience of like us and our friends, but and people we know, but like the face that you have on in the place and the face that you have on in the bathroom and just the stuff, like it's just a complete like night and day. Could not be more different. And I don't know what it is. It's like a portrait series or like a like overheard something.
Overheard. I think it should be an overheard. Because, like, the other thing that people don't, well, I feel like women know this because we experience it, but men don't realize this about women's bathrooms at nightclubs is there becomes a distinct shift like around 1 a.m. once everyone's like a little bit drunk or a little tipsy, where the bathrooms become like generally these like areas of just gassing each other up in like the best way, where everyone is just like, oh my God, I love your dress. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. It ends up being this like love fest with strangers in the bathroom where you just like kind of are really, it's really cute. It's kind of fun. And I feel like you hear really ridiculous stories as a result because you quickly bond with people after you've like shared your adoration for their dress or their makeup or whatever.
Yeah, you're rooting for each other, right? There's like a shared spirit of, especially if like if we're going into the bathroom together and then there are two other friends and you're hearing like them talk over the stalls about like, oh my God, this guy, I thought he was going to be like this and that, like this is a total mess. And you're just kind of commiserating. There's just that general spirit of like, we all went out here like presumably to have a good time. And by midway through the night, it's like you're kind of some things have already been decided. Maybe the entire course of the night has been charted. And so whatever hopes you had at like 8 p.m., 9, 10, like by midnight, it's like, okay, I don't like what's actually happening here. There's almost like a reckoning that goes on in those bathrooms. And
The
yeah,
Reckoning.
there is
Maybe that's the series title.
the
The
reckoning.
the the club reckoning, the nightclub bathroom reckoning, something with that.
The
But that
2
is
a.m. reckonings.
the 2 a.m. reckoning, yeah. That is it's super real. It's super real. And then, like, there's the people that you meet where you, like, suddenly become fast friends, and then you're making post going out plans with them, like, "Oh, where are you guys going after?" And then suddenly you're spending, like, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. with them at, like, some after party or at a restaurant.
Oh my God. Actually, one of the people who liked this Instagram post was Tracy, who I went to an after hours with in Montauk in September. I don't know how we got there, what we were doing, like but I had one of those moments where you just sort of like you look around and you're in this kitchen and it's like, okay, it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. What am I doing here? What am I doing? Like literally, what am I doing here? It's like time, like get in an Uber and like get the absolute hell out.
Get home. Well, I'm going to Vegas in February just for one night to see the Backstreet Boys. You know, they
Fine.
have that residency at the Sphere. And that is actually that to me, like the ideal Vegas would be like a show one night and like a fancy dinner out the next, or vice versa, you know, like basically that
Yes, I agree.
combination. Because I'm like a show like the Backstreet Boys gives you the music, dancing kind of vibe, without the staying out till 2 a.m., wearing uncomfortable clothes, like all of that kind of stuff.
I can't do the uncomfortable clothes. I want to go to the Sphere. I want to see like Diplo, or I feel like it's a matter of time before that happens. That kind of
Mhm.
residency. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's like a night like that, and then a really great meal, and then get on the plane and go home.
Go home. I mean, this is really ambitious, but, I'm on I think my return flight on Saturday, I think the concert's Friday night. My return flight on Saturday is at 8:30 a.m. So I will be leaving the hotel at like 6 a.m. to get to the airport.
You will be so fine. My return flight last week was at 7:39. It was the first flight out of there.
Oh,
Because
wow.
yeah, I was there for 2 nights, and, I just wanted to have the full day in LA. I had some meetings and just wanted to, like, get home and kind of get back into real life as soon as possible. But it really is it was also I was in Vegas alone, which is also kind of weird because it's a place that like, it was all good, and I did meet up with a friend who lives there while I was there, but it's a place where it really feels like you go there for a reason, whether it's a bachelorette party, whether it's to see a concert, to meet up with friends, like, there's not I don't know, I mean, actually, no, I'm sure there are people who come to Vegas, like, just sort of like, "I need to get out of my regular life," and, like, I don't know, I'm seeking something, but, I just felt like, okay, check done. We're good. We're out of here. Like there was no problem waking up and getting on that flight.
Yeah, I was there for a conference, and, like, it was my first time, I think, going to a conference in Vegas, and, yeah, it is just, like, a different experience, like, I mean, Vegas is one of those places where there is something for everyone, like, I could see, if someone really loves to gamble, I could see a solo trip being great, or
Oh,
if you really love to, like, shop and go to, like, the spas, even, like okay, when I turned 21, my parents, who are like the least gambling sort of like drinking people that I know, decided because I was 21, like they wanted to celebrate my birthday by taking me to Vegas. And I was like, okay, but like, how's this going to work? Because you guys don't really gamble. You don't really drink. Like, what are we going to do?
I love
And
it.
no joke. Like we spent most of the, trip, like we were there for a weekend, basically like sightseeing, which was now looking back on it, I like really appreciate because the hotels themselves are such like spectacles but usually you are so busy that maybe you'll see like two hotels. I'm going to go gambling at the Bellagio, then I'm going to go out to the Cosmopolitan, and that's it. But like legit on that trip we probably walked 10,000, 15,000 steps because we walked to like almost every hotel and like checked out their lobby or checked out whatever kind of special, like the MGM has like the little exhibit of the tigers or whatever it is, and like
Mm.
we like took in all of that. So at that trip, we barely drank, barely gambled. Maybe we played like $15 worth of roulette. But it was the one time where I pretty much, I think, saw every single hotel on this trip, and like it was like a design and architecture tour, sightseeing tour.
Cool.
Yeah, it was
Really,
fun.
really cool. I for as many times as I've been there, and I went a lot in my 30s, especially my early 30s. I was like going to the Cosmopolitan or like I think it was usually the Cosmopolitan like once a month for like a year. It was a great time, and that was like I don't know one of my like heights of going out. But I never even this time like I have a vague sense of the layout of the strip, but I've never done that. I've never like seen some of the historic like the Golden Nugget or yeah, like, is it the Flamingo? And there are so
Mhm.
many iconic movies that are set in Vegas. Like, I actually, while I was there, I started rewatching The Hangover, the
Mhm.
first one, which is set there, and, like, Casino, I love the Ocean's 11. There's just a lot that, like, I feel there's really no place in the world like it, and the from a, like, cinema storytelling perspective, the amount of things that can go wrong, or right
All
in
right.
Vegas are pretty limitless, uh, but but yeah, it's just, yeah, it's funny how many different types of experiences you can have there, and, uh, people just keep coming back, so
I mean, I wanna go to one of these. For all that I've gone, I haven't really actually focused on restaurants when I've gone. Like, never been I can't think of a time where, like, I've been intentional about making a reservation in advance and, like, going to one of these restaurants. I mean, I know you went to new ones, but, like, I wanna do that. Maybe it won't I don't know if it'll happen this next trip since I'm just going for a night, but, it really feels like that is a really good balance to strike between like having an excuse to get dressed up and like going out, having a really nice meal, feeling like you're out, but then still being in bed by like a decent hour.
yeah, I would highly recommend Gymkhana, and if
It was
you
good.
it was so good.
Yeah.
It's so good, and it also just it feels like you're stepping into another world. It feels like you're stepping into their restaurant in London. It's just really I don't know, I've been to a lot of places in Vegas, and in most of pretty much all of them, it's hard to forget where you are, and this in Gymkhana, they've done such a good job that, like, you look around and it's like, "I don't know where I am." This feels like a place it feels like a piece of London has been transported here.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to go. And is the menu the same as London or similar?
The menu is very similar. The menu is so it has some of the highlights from London, and I think, because gosh, they've only been open for about 2 weeks. I think that they may be. It's not. I wouldn't say it's soft open, but I think they may be like adding or like amending the menu like slightly as like the they get more weeks under their belt.
Hmm.
But no, it's definitely a great variety of food. There's a ton of. I mean, I think if you could do it before the Backstreet Boys, then like you certainly won't be hungry.
That's true. Yeah, that would be a great, a very different, a different way to take in the music than like when we were growing up listening to the Backstreet Boys, like
Yeah.
probably eating Domino's pizza or Taco Bell or something.
Yeah, seriously, what were we? Were we in high school when the Backstreet Boys came out?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was, yeah, early high school is what yeah.
Damn. Um, well, since we're on the subject of going out, what are you doing for New Year's Eve?
No plans, like zero, nothing scheduled. We're gonna be in Houston, maybe meet up with friends, maybe just stay at home and like cook dinner and chill.
I
Like
like that.
very, like I'm very excited to do nothing. But you're gonna be in Paris.
I'm going to be in Paris and we're going to be with Ritu and Chris and Ritu's friend Alexandra, who is she grew up here in LA and they went to high school together. But Alexandra now lives in Paris with her boyfriend, life partner, husband. I've met him before. He's a chef. He's very nice. And they live there. She gives art tours, like contemporary gallery art tours. Yeah, next time
Yeah.
maybe I may
I think
connect
you
you guys.
I think
Yeah.
you did. I think you did, but it was like I was only there for 2 nights, so we didn't end up working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe you didn't overlap, but yeah, the six of us are going to celebrate, I think, at Alexandra and her partner's place and just have like a cozy night in with French wine and cheese and whatever they want to make. And yeah, it sounds ideal. We were talking about maybe going out and like buying tickets to some type of thing. And then she was like, you know what? I think it's honestly so overrated here. Just like it is in a lot of cities, like we've done the New York going out on New Year's Eve thing. You were in Marfa a couple years ago, right?
I was in Marfa. Yeah, that was great actually. But like that to me is the most going out I'm trying to go, which is like going to a small town where you can like walk to places and yeah, that was great. But New York, no thank you. Or at least like not going out, like going to someone's place is different, but
See, I would do New York and do it like with our, with the hats of of like our experience on now and, again, like that like club sort of, pay $80 and get like a stuffed mushroom and free cocktails and like a splash of champagne at midnight. I don't know that probably does still exist, but I don't think that's something that either of us would choose to do anymore. So I'm sure there are very fabulous, fun options for New Year's Eve in New York, if we should choose to partake of that. But yeah, the idea of just like, it's also when it's cold and getting dressed up and don't want to stand in a line. Don't want to be like searching for a cab in the snow or the rain or like the streets are icy and there's wind in your face and you're like, oh God, like what, like how am I going to get home? Yeah, that
yeah,
is
no
not a
thank
good
you.
way to ring in the year to me.
No, and then like you immediately any sort of like goals or resolutions you have set suddenly you're like, okay, they will start January 2nd because I'm like
Exactly.
super tired and just need to order DoorDash on the first to like get me through the day. Um,
Yeah, no, we're not gonna have that type of January 1st. I'm gonna call it now.
especially after you just finished your like wellness retreat. You can't
I
you can't
I
negate all of your
strongly
you can't negate all of your gains through that.
I'm in this like I did a little quick walk this morning, but I don't know. I feel like the chokehold that working out has had on me for like 20 years is finally losing its grip. in the sense of like, and I'm happy about it. I'm like, I don't want to like have to work out like 7 days a week or 5 days a week or like even like whatever. That sense of like I have to do this thing has lessened enough that like it's like, oh yeah, I should really like do like a resistance workout today. And it's now it's like 2:30. It's not gonna happen. It's not happening, and it's fine that it's not happening. And I
Maybe
will get back.
that's your next series after the 2 a.m. reckoning is like the new approach to like wellness and fitness for elder millennials.
I kind of love that. I mean, there really is, because obviously there's this like multi-billion-dollar industry that profits off of telling us like you need to do this more, you need to do that more, move more, 10,000 steps, do resistance training 4 times a week, drink all the water. And I know that some of it is true and science backed, but a lot of it is just anxiety stoking and sort of like, listen, I get it. Everyone has to make a living. We've got products to push and things to sell. And if you are in the wellness industry, it's in your best interest to make sure that people are showing up for classes and
Mm-hmm.
buying the supplements. And I totally get it. But the stuff that it does to, I think, and again, I'd like speaking from a point of view of a woman who has been like fed this like you're not good enough by magazines and popular culture for literally since I've been sentient, is I eventually you just want to push back against it and be like, you know what, like maybe I'm fine.
Turns out I might just be okay without having 15 different supplements every day. Yeah. Yeah, I think I think we need to find I think you're entering the new, like, what is the new sort of wellness fitness journey the same way that like our going out journey has shifted. Like all of the things change over time. So yeah. Now the new going out is going to a nice dinner, and maybe the new like wellness fitness is like going for a walk instead of like an intense 60-minute hit class or whatever.
Okay, I think we should do one of these like, well, we can talk about it offline, but I think that we should do one of these like maybe once a week.
I mean,
Dep-
I've loved catching up with you. I feel like we've been overdue for this. This is great. Yeah, totally. Let's do this again. And I also really want to plan. I need to go to Vegas with you so we can go to these restaurants.
Yes, yeah, we will definitely do that. I like the idea of doing these once a week and just talk. Yeah, we'll talk about different topics, and I who knows, maybe we'll take questions, maybe we'll even have guests. I don't know. There's like a whole universe of possibilities here.
I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Love you. Happy
Love
holidays.
you. Happy holidays.
Hey,
Have fun in Europe.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.